Hi, it's Frank Klesitz. You're going to meet Matt Manoogian, who is
Yep.
our customer in Phoenix. Down market. We have a lot of customers in Phoenix. Down market significantly. And he's been able to maintain his income in a down market by focusing on tried and true systems. One of them, Vyral Marketing, publishing helpful, relevant videos out to his entire database with direct response lead generation offers and retargeting to kind of thin the herd in the database who might be interested in buying or selling so he or his team can follow up to book some appointments. So Matt's been a customer for some time, and he's been able to maintain his income, not necessarily blow it up and grow it, but he is growing given the shift, especially in the market there. And I figured it'd be helpful to interview him for you today on what systems he has in place, what marketing and sales systems he has in place at his own brokerage in 2017. He started off as an investor in 2008. Great time to start. And then shifted as it became a real estate agent and shifted into owning his own brokerage. So he's fully on his own in the Phoenix market, a very competitive market. And at the brokerage level, on his team level, how he runs his business there, he had to get some very specific systems in place to keep his income going this year as the market shifted. And I want to depose him, so to speak, for you on what he's doing. So Matt, thanks for doing this.
My pleasure,
Are you,
Frank.
are you ready
And it
for your
was, yeah,
deposition?
I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I would say that I was actually investing in 2003, started, and licensed in 2008.
Okay,
So
got it.
I
So
was
you actually started
investing
buying in
before.
2003 and realized I want to get in on the, it makes sense for me to become an agent. And then
Yeah,
2017, you
that was
realized to
when the
start your
market
own
was
brokerage.
tanking. Yep, I got an agent when everybody else was getting out of being an agent. It suited me well, but it was a little bit of a slow start up there. Those first 2 years.
How much business do you currently do now with
We
good?
are right under 30 million. So
That's great. Okay. Now, take me back. Let's start here. Let's work our way up to the current market.
yeah.
Take me back to your decision. You had to put some marketing systems in place to bring in clients to your brokerage.
Yes.
What are those systems? And then when you get to viral marketing, let's talk about your decision to use viral marketing. So why don't you just tell me right now off the top of your head, what are the top 3 or 4 ways that you bring in business right now for your brokerage?
Phone calls, and that's just calling the database, right? Not cold calling. We're actually calling people that we know. We're doing open houses and events. And it's probably events and then open houses in that order for our lead generation.
Okay.
Primarily, that number one spot is and has always been our primary way of building business.
No cold calls, only warm calls.
I mean, there
How
are
many
some cold
people?
calls. It just wouldn't be I wouldn't say that that's the main source of our calls, right? Like, yeah, we have done some cold calling. I just wouldn't put it up there. It doesn't suit our team.
How many people do you have on your warm call list?
So non-agents, because we do have a decent referral business from outside of the state. Non-agents, if we combined all 5 of us agents, we're probably at 4,000 roughly.
How many agents are in your brokerage?
There's 4 that sell property outside of myself.
Okay.
And I usually
between
just
all
give
of
them
you have 4,000 people who know who you all are and that you call for your warm calls?
yes.
That took a while to build that list.
Yeah, it was mostly me. I've been in the business the longest of the agents. But over time, I feed my agents all the buyers and the majority of the sellers that I generate. So it's yeah. So they actually, a lot of those are intertwined. Like, a lot of our agents know the same people that I know now.
How many hours a week are you personally making warm calls
Less
to find
now.
business?
Less now. We can expand on that a little bit. I would say that it used to be 2 to 3 hours a day, pretty consistently. So, but now I'm probably 3 hours a week, maybe 4.
That's good. What about your agents? How many hours a week are they putting in?
They should be doing around that 2-hour mark a day. Yeah. So 8 to 10 is really what they are, because they don't necessarily come in and work prospecting 5 days a week, but 4 certainly.
What do they say?
Well, since we already know the people, it's really easy. We come from a place of contribution, which is, hey, it's Matt Manoogian from Good Company Real Estate. Just checking in to see if you had any real estate needs, or if you're running into any challenges. And this last piece is usually what we would lead off with. If you're running into challenges, they don't have to be real estate related. We have a big network of people here in the Phoenix metro area. Happy to share them with you. Our network is your network. What's your biggest challenge that we can help you with? And then take off. The conversation goes from there.
How long have you been following that simple strategy of everyone just calling they know with that script?
I mean, it's years. Yeah. It's just simple, and they know to call us if they have any issue. We'll naturally get the stuff that's real estate related, like most agents will. Handyman, air conditioning person, anything to do with the house, because that's an easy, relatable thing. But when you start getting calls for financial planners, lawyers, and other people, doctors, things that that do not spark an interest in real estate, usually when you talk about them, we're still getting those calls too. And that's the goal. We want to be the hub for absolutely everything you need in your life, and then we'll provide you with a great person in that area.
Very simple.
Very simple. We were complicated. I've been complicated before. It just never worked. So.
Okay. May I ask one last question on that? What's the criteria for someone to be on the warm list?
Really just need to know us. Know us, referred to us, introduced to us. I mean, I may meet somebody at my kids' gymnastics class, right? And if I like them and want to keep in touch with them, get their number, put them in there, and they're on the warm list. It's that easy. If there's someone that we do not want to be in relationship with, they're not on that list, obviously.
There's 20 years of wisdom in what you just said so far as your number one source. So,
I mean, it's
from
tough
someone
early,
like me
right,
that
Frank?
interviews
It's tough early.
everybody. Yeah, I mean, look, from someone that interviews everybody. Yeah, man, I just let everyone I know and call if they need help. That's it. That's the plan.
Yeah, if there's people you like, keep in touch with them. If there's people you don't like, the only time that you're going to call them is if you're starving for business. So we're fortunate enough not to do that.
So you have events and open houses. For the sake of time, I'll skip those. But I do have just one question for the events.
Sure.
Give the audience some good ideas for events that you hold, probably as a reason to call and invite people to.
Yeah, so the easy one, movie theater. That's great. Always do it on an opening night of something big. We like family style stuff that fits our team. But you want to cater whatever movie you choose to the bulk of your database. So we just do family movies. The outdoor events are fun. Park, again, it's a little bit more cumbersome to organize because you have to bring all the vendors in. However, it's a nice outdoor private space. Most parks have private spaces that you can rent, and it's very cheap. So that's a great one. And then what we've been encouraging our agents to do and funding it for them are private events that they would do. And these are more frequent. So once a month, there might be, for instance, one of our wonderful agents, Alicia, is a yoga instructor and gong meditation instructor as well. And so she will host either a yoga class or a sound meditation for whoever wants to come. Both people in our database and bring a friend type situation, right? So she can meet some new people as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
So now,
but I would specify it to the agent, right? Like they need to really love that. And if they really love it, then once a month for a small event for 20, 30 people, that's a great idea. You send out 100 invites, right? So you get 100 touches and 100, thank you so much for the invite. I'm busy, but it works for them too. And those that go to the event absolutely love it.
Great. We'll skip open houses, but your top 3 lead sources to grow: warm calls, events, which we just discussed, and doing open houses. Now, take me to your decision that you had this need or this problem you needed to solve with a better touch plan, and
Yeah.
you were considering your options, and Vyral being one of the options. Tell me about the pain or the problem you were in before Vyral. What? Tell me about that
Before,
situation when you realized you need a solution like ours.
yeah, so before Vyral, it was a leverage situation that we were running into. Especially me personally having the bulk of that database and contacting. And I wanted something that could help everybody in the entire team. Now, our brokerage houses just our team. So it's an easy, it's really easy for us to be able to just market the brokerage because every lead that comes in goes to our team only, because that's the way we set it up. So the brokerage itself really isn't a business. It's really the team.
Yeah.
So
Well, you're
for us,
what they call a teamerage, kind of.
exactly, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I've never actually heard that before, Frank, but
You
I
haven't?
guess that's no, I
That's the
haven't.
that's the lingo in the space. Is I wrote a teamerage.
That's funny. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do a lot of investment stuff, and so we wanted the independence of a brokerage and just the team, though. We weren't interested in growing our agent count to whatever it needs to be to make that profitable. Um, so so with Vyral, it seemed pretty obvious that sending out videos and having somebody else send all the stuff that you do, the camera, the microphone, scripts, if you want them, we can edit the scripts, a month in advance, or we can just go back to old scripts and to think of ideas. But really, that's never really been a problem, I don't think, for many agents, is coming up with something to say. You just share information, share what you know, share what's going on in the market, share what's going on in your local market, and create a video around it and send it to everybody. And leveraging all of that, like, I don't want to do video production. I don't want to have to write from scratch every single script that we do. I don't want to have to distribute it to everybody. Our people have other things that they are doing. And so it was a really easy choice, actually, once we made it. And I regret not doing it back in, when was it that you guys started? 2010?
You're right on there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I met you shortly after that. And so, my bad.
So you spend money with us. You're making the videos. How do you know you're making more money than what you pay us? How do you know it's working?
So, like you said, down market, but and we are losing unit count, the number of units that we do, that's in proportion to the market and the units that are being sold, and yet we're taking steps to alleviate that. And so, but the volume has gone up. Phoenix is, obviously, people from here know that the growth within the last 3 years has been tremendous, and really since 2010 consistently. Right, late 2010 is when it started increasing again. So, so the volume is actually made up for that. So we haven't lost any income, and that's nice for the agents to know. And it's better to be able to take some of that market share in this kind of a market, knowing that it's tougher for a lot of other people. And we're coming from a place of we were where we were, and now it's time to move to the next level. And so we've implemented a couple things. And one of those things is we brought a coach on, and we've leveraged Vyral to do this. And actually, I hired a caller as well, as you know, because you helped a lot with that. So, and that was.
So you can say it's. Sorry, you can say it's, it's hard to track it directly because you're marketing to people that are already in your database that you have a really good relationship with, that you're already calling.
Mm-hmm.
This is just enhancing it so they just are more aware of you. It's a lot of a brand awareness thing. And you can track it.
That's right.
To your business hasn't gone down, but the rest of the market has tanked, at least like 20 to 30%.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is good. You're maintaining your existing production. But you still want to grow because other
Yes.
people are going down, and you have your systems in place that are fundamentally sound for the long term, right? Versus like maybe
It's taken a
spending a
while to
fortune
get
money
there,
on
but
cold
yes.
buy. Yeah, versus like spending tons of money in your whole business around cold buyer leads when
Yeah.
interest rates are 3%, right? And you're hiring a coach, you're adding agents with these fundamentally sound principles of getting business in a more difficult market relatively the past few years. And you're also looking at hiring calling talent. So just I'll share this with everyone. You're hiring, actually, I had a referral for you of someone in the Philippines
Yep.
who speaks very good English, and
Very good.
I recommend it to you. And they're going to start calling all the people that ideally I'd recommend clicking the links in your emails to start.
Yes.
So anyone who's like watching your videos or clicking the links and engaging with your stuff, you should have them reach out. Hey, Matt asked me to call you with the same exact script. Would you like me to have Matt call you to talk about whatever?
Yep.
And then
We
they
created a
just, when
very
they get
simple
yeses, they
script.
pass the name to you.
Yeah, very simple script. Renzel, he's amazing. I
Yep,
really
rental.
appreciate the referral. Talked to him, I think 3 times now, over just over Zoom, and he's coming back with questions. We're having him do some market research on both Arizona real estate and real estate in general. He's already come up with some great things, and we've gotten him to understand the lingo in real estate as well. So he's asking questions about terms that aren't very clear to him, and he is keeping his own note sheet and everything. So very competent, super excited. He started making calls officially for us yesterday. We had our training for 5 days, and already got a lead.
Good.
Yeah.
50 attempts a day.
I mean, yes, it might be more some days and it might be less some days, but we are aiming for that 50 attempts a day, and follow it up with a text message. If you have to leave a voice message, you follow it up with a text message, and then an email as well if you don't hear anything back.
That's going to really help you, Matt. For all of our customers, excuse me, you're building your database, you're sending stuff out, but there kind of comes a point of diminishing marginal returns on that of like, how much stuff do you want to send out? The more you send out, the less and less it works marginally better.
Yeah.
For most of our customers, for someone like you, like the best place to put your resources in hiring someone like Renzel, to just sit there 40 hours a week, calling through the list of people who know who you are with something very helpful, and see if they're open to a discussion with you and passing you those names. That's going to really help you, man.
I already know
I'm
it
glad you're
will.
doing that.
Yeah,
Really
thank
glad you're
you.
doing that. Yeah.
The other piece of it is we've coached him on our team culture and the coming from contribution, and so we taught him what this network list is. He asked for the actual list just so he knows, and we gave him the actual list of all 50 different vendors that we have and have passed business back and forth from, just so he knows it. He's not going to memorize it or anything, but just so he has it in case somebody mentions something and it triggers something in him, that he can bring that up in a conversation. So
That's great.
he's
Something
right
I'd
in
like
line with what we're doing.
Something I'd like to see you do is, so we're recording this interview on Riverside.fm, which is what we use to interview you for your videos. You can use it on your phone or your webcam. So I'm on my computer in my home office, and Matt's on his webcam. And it's nice because it records the footage right to the hard drive, and then it uploads it for editing lossless. So you're watching this, it probably looks pretty good because we were editing the real footage recorded to the hard drive versus recording the stream. But we can also invite others into Riverside. We can have a third or fourth person in here and interview them. And one of the things, Matt, is when you have your video shoots with Vyral, we're getting on Riverside and shooting your videos with you like this. But you can invite your vendors in, man. Like invite the solar company person in to talk to them. Like go through that list of 50 and be like, hey, would you like to be in a video where I ask you about the number one question you get about your business pertaining to what a homeowner asks? And hit them up and have like a little 5-minute discussion with them. And that could be one of your videos you send out of like interviewing your vendors about answering questions that are commonly asked by people maybe around a home sale.
I like that.
Mhm.
Great idea.
And that way, it takes a lot of the burden off of the content from your head and our head, and gives some exposure to your vendors through video. And
Yeah,
given that all they need is their cell phone, and they install the Riverside app with a tripod, you can interview anywhere, anyone, anywhere for your video topics.
I like that. That's gonna go straight to a conversation with Kelly, so she can start setting it up.
Yeah, I
Appreciate
think
it.
you're ripe for that, man. It's a more advanced way of producing content, but you become more of a journalist versus the expert.
Perfect.
Mhm. Cool. So, the big main benefit of using Viral for you has been to maintain your existing level of production,
Yep.
to get on video, get people to see you. So when you do call, they're like, "Oh yeah, Matt," they know who you are. Kind of shaking the trees, so to speak, in your database of who might be interested in the conversation, so you can prioritize phone call follow up based upon who's clicking and engaging. Are there any other benefits of executing like our 36 touch marketing plan that you've seen in your business that you want to share? Honestly, if there's not, there isn't.
Yeah, no, there. I was gonna say a secondary benefit to this is, all of these are recorded, stored on our website and a YouTube channel, and so it's just a database of content. It's really good for anybody that we just come in contact with. Hey, check out anything previously that we've talked about, or somebody comes on and says, hey, you should really do a video on this. Like, well, actually we did. I'll send you the link. And it just provides just that resource, I would say, for the whole
Yeah.
team and for our clients.
Last question. Why are you a client of ours versus all the other options available to you for marketing?
Well, it's
I'm
going
just
to be
curious.
cheesy, but it's because I met you in person, right? And because I know your wife, Katie, and she's great. And you go out of your way
She is
to,
great.
she is great. And you go out of your way to
Mm.
help uh, all of the people, whether they're your customers or not. And that's something that resonates with me. So just like it with the VA, we called so we could get some information on it. And within 6 minutes of the call, you said, I've got somebody for you. I was like, all right, that's easy. Probably saved me 6 hours, and Kelly another dozen. So great. That's perfect.
You and I share a lot of the same, similar values
Yeah.
on how to do business. Yeah.
And how to live
Cool, man.
life too. Travel, right?
Yeah.
Travel's
100%.
super important to
How
us.
many
So
countries have you been to, Matt?
28. 28
28
now?
countries. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta get that.
I,
That's gonna be over 100 in my lifetime for sure. So
Matt,
it'll
I'll share this.
be
My
fun.
wife is terrified. We're going to Paris.
I was just there.
And I know I walk around in flip flops and cargo shorts. And I don't speak a lick of French. And I'm huge and large and loud. My wife is having a panic attack.
My
So we'll
only
see how
recommend my
Frank
only
loves it in
recommend
Paris. We'll see how that goes.
just learn a little bit of French just to say hello
I know
and
nothing.
parlez-vous anglais, just or anglais,
Parlez-vous anglais.
anglais. That's all you
Yeah.
gotta do. And most people will say a little bit, right? Almost everybody will
Yeah.
say a little bit, and they will respect that you just asked in French, and so
Yes.
you'll be fine.
Good. Thanks.
And be loud and please share one of those stories where Katie is
Oh,
pretending
I'm
she
sure I
doesn't know
will
you.
embarrass my wife the entire time, not even on purpose. So, man, I just want to say thanks for being a client. Is there any last words of advice for anyone that's been, generally speaking, kind of on the easy train? I mean, you've seen everything for 20 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, where it's like, I really got to retool my business so I don't have to climb the wrong mountain again, where I can handle up market and a down market that's fundamentally sound. I think the warm calls, the events, and the open houses, you've done a lot of different vendors and tried a lot of different things over 20 years in the business. And you've dialed in these three things that are sustainable for you, proven by the following Phoenix market. What would you tell someone who needs to move in the direction of business maturity with systems? That's not
So
there, not where you are.
yeah, God, I also read a lot of books. And I would say to whatever you're looking to do next, if you have an issue with leverage, then read a bunch of books on that and leadership, and then take some action steps as you go. If let's see, it was really overdue for me to hire you guys when we did, because just being able to leverage myself and still be able to communicate in an effective way with all the people that would potentially come to me for business, uh, that should have been done early on. So I would say that if you can't hire a person, then you look to companies like Vyral and other companies that can take components of what you're spending a lot of your time on and now, give them the majority of the time on that. You show up, shoot your video, or whatever else it may be that you're doing that this other company can offer for you, and just pay them the monthly fee so you can go about your business of, negotiating contracts, only following up with hot leads, and closing deals, and then take that money and put it into something else. I will mention that, we also have a very strong investment business. And that was one of our, when something in the market happens and it shifts, it provides an opportunity somewhere else. And for us, it's always been in the investment side of things, doing buy and hold, fix and flips. And so if you really are, not being able to figure out what's going on with your current market, it would be to, okay, well, what market now just took a surge because of this dump or this lull, right? And if it's of interest to you, get into that as a business that, kind of works hand in hand with what you're currently doing.
Just like you said there, I think I want to point out that you weren't ready for Vyral because you weren't the leader you needed to be yet. It sounds like you weren't ready to
Yep.
delegate and spend the money. It
Well,
sounds like you weren't necessarily ready to step on video and lead people in like that one-to-many terrifying way.
yes, exactly. The video piece was a huge step for that. Yep, that was the main area of it. Like, oh, we're doing the phone calls, whatever the excuse was, right? We're doing the phone calls, it's working, and so on and so forth. But then it just came a time crunch, and it wasn't. It's just not as scalable as using a video medium to communicate with everybody.
Cool. Matt, thanks for doing this. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Frank. I appreciate
if
you, man.
have any referrals to anyone in Phoenix, look up Matt.
Thank
Take
you.
very good
Appreciate
care of
that.
them. All right.
Good
If you want a
company, real estate.
right there. And if you want a copy of the video marketing plan that Matt follows, you can just go to our website, getvyral.com, and download a copy of the video marketing plan right on the homepage. It's right there with everything that we can do for if you two are
Frank,
interested. So, Matt, thanks so much, and we'll end it there.
thank you.